Versatile Mage. Chapter 31 Delightful Swearing. Mo Fan, you shameful thing. What are you saying? Immediately apologize to Mr. Mu Juoyan. Mu, he said with great anger. Was this Mo Fan stupid beyond redemption or something? He even had the guts to act like this in front of Mu Juoyan. Was his family tired of living? Apologize. Of course I will. However, he must also apologize to me regarding the matter from 3 years ago. Don't think you can scare me with your high cultivation and authority. This Mu Juoyan used his cultivation to bully me, a student who hasn't even turned 18 yet. Let's put it like this. If you were the same age as me, I would be able to beat you up real good. Mo Fan's fearless gesture was currently being displayed in great detail. Bullshit. Mu Juoyan was getting really pissed off by this bastard kid, so much so that he directly began to swear. When Mu Juoyan was at Mo Fan's age, even though his talent may not have matched Mu Ningxui's, he was still a genius. Naturally, he didn't place any of the students within Tianlan Magic high in his eyes. Mo Fan, you really are shamelessly daring. Don't even mention Master Mu Juoyan when he was young. We could randomly grab a core disciple from the current Mu family and he'd be able to beat you down with a single move. That's right, we don't even need to use core disciples. Mu Bai, could duel you in magic. If you lose, then you must kneel down and apologize to Master Mu. At this time, Mu Bai jumped at the chance to be used as a dog by Mu Juoyan. Mu Bai and Mo Fan were peers. It would be a fair duel. Let's see what other excuses you'll have, thought Mu Bai. With this, Mu Bai planned to beat Mo Fan and ease Master Mu Juoyan's resentment. Not necessary. Just as Mu Bai was about to step up bravely, an icy, arrogant voice resounded. Everyone's gaze immediately turned toward the speaker. The person who had spoken was none other than Mu Ningxu. Who would have imagined she would make a move at this time? Mu Ningxu stepped between her father and Mo Fan. Her gaze was like an ice mountain, carrying a bit of anger directed naturally at Mo Fan. Since you said my father only knows how to bully the younger generation, since you said that my father used his authority to suppress you, and you relied on your own cultivation to develop your magic. In that case, I'm the same age as you, I'll compete with you. Mu Ningxui's tranquil voice carried an icy power. Ningxu. After Mu Juoyan saw his own daughter step forward, the anger on his face changed into astonishment. Mo Fan, seeing that it was Mu Ningxu facing him, smiled as though he'd rather die than surrender. Interesting, even Mu Ningxu came forth, he thought. The truth was, facing someone worthless like Mu Bai was meaningless. Mo Fan had already stomped on him earlier today. However, Mu Ningxu was credited as the #1 girl genius of Bo City and a blessed daughter of the heavens within the imperial institution. Having her duel him would be much more interesting. Ningxu, I am enough to deal with this guy. There's no need for you to, Mu Bai promptly said with a smile. My father has been thoroughly humiliated. My father can be magnanimous and not bother with this sharp-tongued little thief. However, I, as his daughter, simply will not let the person who has humiliated my father off. We'll settle it with an impartial magic duel. Every word from Mu Ningxu was sincere, with no hesitation in her voice. Good. Well said. This icy, lofty, and unyielding character makes us, the older generation, very gratified. As expected of the #1 genius of Bo City, having an outstanding talent at such a young age while being able to distinguish between right and wrong. School director Deng Kai immediately began praising her. After praising her, Director Deng Kai also patted Mu Juoyan's back. Brother Juoyan, having you deal with this rude kid is not necessary at all. Naturally, you can't return to when you were 16 to duel him and prove whether he's better than you were at that age. It's better to let your daughter Mu Ningxu take your place in this matter and silence this kid who does not know the immensity of heaven and earth. Mu Juoyan didn't say anything. He just stared at Deng Kai. As Deng Kai saw Mu Juoyan control his temper, he smiled slightly before turning to Mo Fan. Mo Fan, right. As the person in charge of the Hunters Union within Bo City, I really am not sure whether your actions today can be described as being young and inexperienced, or simply stupid. However, you should apologize to Mu Juoyan for your hot-headed action. The contributions he has made to Bo City are far beyond what you can comprehend. Apologize. That's not a problem. I can cover my entire body in thorns and use the most traditional method, kowtowing, to apologize to him. I'll even kowtow until he's satisfied. However, are the Mu family in the right to have me apologize to them? Go ask them about what they said to my family 3 years ago. If I were to apologize, it would only be after they have apologized for the matter 3 years ago. Since he is a respected person of Bo City, then they should know better than to provoke nobodies. You can slap a nobody to death with a single palm, but before they get slapped to death, they would definitely curse you until your brain breaks. Mo Fan said without inhibition. This is a society ruled by law. How could this kind of thing happen? At most, we'd just expel you, the principal said, creasing his eyebrows. All right, since things have come to this point, then it's not as difficult to deal with as I thought. We'll do as Mu Ningzhu said. She will have a magic duel with you. If you lose, then you will have to apologize until Mu Juoyan is satisfied. If Mu Ningzhu loses, Deng Kai paused and looked toward Mu Juoyan. Mu Juoyan said in a cold voice, "How could Mu Ningzhu? You don't need to spout so much garbage, just say if you dare or not." Mo Fan's tone was sharp as a dagger. Dignity wasn't something grander just because you were from an aristocratic family. Even more so when your own family was homeless, miserable, and lower than dirt. Mo Fan was just a nobody who sought revenge for his grievance. Have him join the Mu family. Mo Fan could never forget the words Mu Juoyan had spoken 3 years ago, as if disciplining a dog. He could never forget that he was responsible for making them homeless. If he were eager to return just because Mu Juoyan threw him a bone, then he really would be a dog. At that point, how would he be any different from Zhao Kunsen and Mu Bai? Saying profanities to him, that was only normal. 3 years ago, when he was just 13, he had the guts to point at Mu Juoyan and call him an old scoundrel. Now that he was 16, how could he possibly be afraid? Once bitten by a snake, 3 years shy from the rope, this phrase suited Mo Fan well. If a snake dared to bite him, he would definitely treat it like a rope and swing it away. When you were already seen as an ant in someone's eyes, there was no way to escape that colossal foot. You might as well curse them until you were satisfied. Brother Juoyan, do you agree? Deng Kai acted as mediator. Currently, the argument and swearing had been witnessed by the entire school. If they could direct this ugly affair toward a fair magic duel, that would naturally be the best option. Expelling Mo Fan would be meaningless and would cause the school to lose a genius. Being able to take the #1 spot in Tianlan Magic High meant he was indeed a good seedling. Chapter end. Please guys like, comment, share, and subscribe.